Do you realize that all judgment starts with expectation? That if there wasn't an expectation, there would be nothing to judge against. It's an interesting concept. So then we've got to ask the question, whose expectation? Where did that expectation come from? Did we choose it? One of the things that gives us most pain is that if we're in a relationship, we expect our partner to understand our needs. What a silly expectation. It's absolutely ridiculous. How can our partner read our mind? Hell, we don't even know what we're thinking half the time. Then you got to ask the question is, why are we so damn needy? Why do we need someone else to fill our void? It's a useless expectation, isn't it? It's one that never can be satisfied, and yet it gives us more grief and more pain than anything you can imagine. What about the expectations that you have unconsciously bought into? That you've got to be this, you got to be that. Well, here's an expectation. Well, I'm Christian. Everyone must be Christian. I have an expectation everyone's Christian. Interesting expectation. I would ask the question, where were you born? Oh, you were born in the United States. It's a Christian nation. What would happen if you were born in India? Would you be a Christian or would you be a Hindu? What if you were born in Japan? Would you be a Christian or would you be a Buddhist? What if you were born in the Mideast? Would you be a Christian or would you be Islamic? What if you were born in a Jewish family? Would you be Jewish? So did you choose the expectation? Or was it given to you and you blindly have bought into it? I'm not saying anything's right or wrong here. I'm just trying to point out the fact that we have expectations of the world, of our families, of ourselves that are unrealistic, and they lead to what? Judgment. And what is judgment? The opposite of love, isn't it? So the second you enter into judgment, love disappears. That's the funny thing. I love you, but you didn't meet my expectations. How dare you? It's not love. Love is the awareness and acceptance of our wholeness, the awareness, acceptance of others' wholeness, and then we give each other the freedom to be our unique selves and to explore and to expand and to have the greatest experience of life that we can, understanding that in life there will be ups and there will be downs. There will be ups and downs because why? We can't experience anything if there isn't contrast. Contrast is the greatest teacher of all things. It's why we have a body, to experience contrast. Why we have a mind, to experience contrast. Why do we have emotions? To experience contrast. And yet we wish we could be happy all the time. The only way you could be happy all the time is if there was no contrast. And then if there was no contrast, would happiness even exist? How can there be happiness if there's no sadness? How would you know it? Because unless you've got something to compare against, you can't identify anything in one fashion or another. That's the interesting thing about life. Nothing can be experienced without something to be compared against. So then you have to go back to the question where we started out. All judgment starts with expectation. Are your expectations real? A great expectation is sometimes I'm kind and sometimes I'm not. That's pretty damn realistic, isn't it? Have you noticed for yourself that you may think you're the kindest person in the world, but there are moments when you're not kind? And you know where you're most unkind? I hope you got it. To yourself. The one person you should be the kindest to is you. Because if you're kind to you, that will move out in how you treat others. And there's nothing better than being kind. If everyone in the world decided to be kind today, the world would change. If everyone decided to be kind, judgment would be greatly reduced. Hatred would be greatly reduced. And love would become the overwhelming theme of life. You can choose to be kind today. You can stop judging yourself and judging others and understand we're just all on our own unique path. And it's okay. It's all okay. It's a great day to be alive, and you get to make it so. Make it a great one. Much love.